Electro Dragons are the strongest troop at Town Hall 11, and I'm going to show you 4 different ways to destroy with them. My name's Corey, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to take a look very first off at Mass E Dragons, and take a look at this base that Huntagram took out. I'm going to go over the plan with you really quick. First of all, he's going to be suing his heroes on this side, alright? We got some damage, so King's going to go in front of the Queen, make sure the Queen stays alive long enough. First of all, trying to clear all this outer trash right here. Second of all, trying to clear this air defense and every single one of these buildings right in here. So we're cutting out all that stuff, make a nice thin path for the E-Dragons. Now over here on the other side, he's got a couple loons take this out and set the funnel so that a P.E.K.K.A can walk in here, grab all these buildings, once again narrowing that funnel for the E-Dragons. So now that we've created a nice little path just between here and here for the E-Dragons to head straight in, worth noting he is going to be fighting a sweeper, but he's got 4 free spells in this composition, and a couple of those can be used combating that sweeper. You got to make sure you either rage or freeze those sweepers, or both, because E-Dragons are so slow that if you let the sweeper go off on them, it's going to ruin your attack. Another thing you have to look at with E-Dragons is chain lightning ability. They only chain if there is 1 or fewer space between them. If that space has a wall, that's fine. If there's 1 space with no wall, also fine. They can chain that. Now these 2 Expos right here with 2 spaces between them, they cannot chain from this Expo to this Expo. So you have to keep an eye on that. And especially notice the air defenses. So if he's coming in from here, do we have chains leading into this air defense? Oh yeah, we sure do. How about this one? Oh yeah, we got chain value going into this air defense. This one right over here, once again, we've got good, reliable chain value to every single one of those air defenses. That's why this base is cut out for E-Dragons. Now that we've gone over that plan, let's see this baby in action. It's going to go down just like I told you it was going to go down. Honestly, I don't ever look at a base and think, oh man, that'd be great for E-Dragons, but I should keep an eye on it a little bit more often, because on the right bases, like this one, it can be very powerful. So there we go, got the loons down there, getting rid of that archer tower. Basically, getting rid of that archer tower is just going to kind of determine that the P.E.K.K.A was going to walk there to there and in. All right, P.E.K.K.A sure could have taken out that archer tower on its own, but the pathing for the P.E.K.K.A wouldn't have been as reliable, and he wanted to get those buildings gone. You don't want to start losing E-Dragons outside the base. Every one of those bad boys is 30 camp space, so losing 1, or even worse, 2, that's a huge effect. He's only got 7 E-Dragons in this mass E-Dragon attack strategy. So here we go. Queen has taken her sweet time, but he's already got those E-Dragons in there doing their thing. Unfortunately, that P.E.K.K.A pulled the Hound out, but luckily the King Queen are going to be pulling it over to the side of the base, out of the way of the E-Dragons. You do not want your E-Dragons to have to deal with the Hound if you can help it. It keeps them held up for way too long. Look at that! Oh my god, I gotta pause. Look at that freeze value that he just got right there. Got the Sweeper and the Eagle Artillery and an air defense all with 1 freeze placement. That is massive. Massive freeze value. Look at these E-Dragons chaining into that air defense, and this group right here coming into this air defense. First blast off on that air defense, rage them up, second blast off. All the air defenses are down at this point. E-Dragons just have a little bit of cleanup to do. Didn't end up using his poison spell, and we'll see if he ends up needing his last freeze spell. Depends if they get good chains into this Tesla farm when they're still out of reach. It looks like we got a single space right here, so just kind of depends how those E-Dragons path, but he's got that last freeze spell to ice down those remaining Tesla farm right there, so not going to be an issue. Had some minions for cleanup. Very important note, they're slow. If they miss a building, any building, you're gonna time fail. They're just too slow. So bringing a few minions for cleanup on this one. He had 4 minions for cleanup, and he had 2 goblins for cleanup. Good choice, because those E-Dragons are so slow. You don't want to leave it to chance. If they forget 1 building, you're gonna time fail. If you bring those 4 or 5 minions or a couple goblins in there as well, you're gonna reduce the chances of those time fails. And there you have it. Next way to smash Town Hall 11s with E-Dragons is by using them with a lava loon. This one here is called the YOLO-Tron. Know a lot of you guys have probably seen it before, but here we go. We got King and Queen that are actually going to funnel. They're going to funnel for the E-Dragons to make a shot into the base. Now he's also got a clone spell because he's got another E-Dragon inside of that Stone Slammer, and he's going to be cloning either that max E-Dragon or one of the E-Dragons that he's sending in. It doesn't really matter. Basically, you're going to find the E-Dragon the best position that needs reinforcement. Maybe you only got one E-Dragon that goes over by the Eagle and the Archer Queen. Well, even though it's not your max E-Dragon from your Stone Slammer, it's still going to be better value because that E-Dragon is in the right spot to do a bunch of damage. So here we've got Heroes clearing the way. Looks like he's going to be entering his E-Dragons in there from the bottom of the base. Since there's an air defense right there, I would expect him to lead with the Stone Slammer and then bring in the E-Dragons behind it. But that's exactly what you're going to do. Clear the trash buildings with the heroes. Otherwise, you got E-Dragons chasing collectors around the outside of the base right here. They've got that straight shot into the Queen, into that Eagle Artillery. Oh, ended up getting Loons cloned. Usually you're trying to get the E-Dragon cloned, but you never know. If you need some more tanking out in front, maybe for this air defense right here, cloning those Loons might have been intentional in this situation. Waiting for that E-Dragon to get some shots off, getting down that Eagle Artillery. He did manage to get down that air defense, which unfortunately has the Hound now going all the way across the base naked, but he's able to provide a little bit more tank for those E-Dragons. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at the core of this base already gone. Queen down, Eagle down, core of the base down. Now he's just coming in from the outside with the rest of this Lalo and has that Grand Warden ability to use for those Loons. Ooh, love how he had that multi-target Inferno frozen. Those things do a ton of damage and they have huge range with that splash damage, so they are excellent freeze value. And anytime you can get another defense with it, especially like an air defense or a Wiz Tower and an Expo with a multi, big time freeze value right there. Definitely worth bringing those freeze spells with your Lava Loon. Guys, this base is wrecked. I don't know if it realized it yet. Still an entire minute left for the cleanup. He's still got a living E-Dragon over here cruising around the outside, minions cruising around the other side. Guys, this base is wrecked. And I gotta tell you, YOLOtron, aside from being a really effective attack strategy, and first of all, you're gonna look for those chains with that YOLOtron entry. Make sure you can get those chains off in there. Like this base right here, it was super packed tight, so it was good for it. But this is also a super fun attack strategy as well. That brings us up to our third way to destroy Town Hall 11s with E-Dragons, and this one, even less E-Dragons involved, just going to be a straight up Electron attack. Once again, just kind of like the YOLOtron, you're still going to funnel a lot of that outer trash, and a lot of times that first inner layer of defenses there with the heroes, all right? Especially if you can get an air defense with your heroes, and then you can, let your E-Dragon get in there and just have a field day in there, then you're going to be in a really good position going forward. Now, most of the time with an Electron, you're not actually cloning the E-Dragon. Most of the time, Queen's going to be able to grab this air defense right there, and as soon as that air defense goes down, he knows that's his cue. That's when he drops that blimp in there. Important to notice when you're doing this, do not send your blimp or Stone Slammer straight into a sweeper. You're asking for trouble. It's going to mess with the Stone Slammer. It's going to mess with the blimp. And even after it pops, it's going to mess with the E-Dragon. Don't do it. So you're seeing he's finding an area right here where he's going to be able to pop it, not in range of that sweeper. And that's exactly the kind of area that you want to look for with an Electron attack. Now this time got another E-Dragon cloned out of there. And that's my favorite. Unless you have a bunch of air defenses already targeting your E-Dragons, I like to clone the E-Dragon if I can, because they get off those chain lightning abilities and they're hitting buildings, 4 or 5 buildings away with those chains. They can really hollow out the core a lot better. Now, worth noticing, on the last base, the core was hollowed out more with the YOLOtron, yes, but he committed a lot more camp space to it. On this one, he only committed the E-Dragon inside of the battle blimp, and he only brought one clone spell. You can get bigger wreckage in the core by bringing another clone spell, but take a look at the heal spell in this composition right there. The only reason he's able to bring that heal spell is because he only used one clone spell. So this gives you a lot more maneuverability with your spells on the Lava Loon on the back end. And so if you don't quite get the value you were looking for on Electron, well, at least if you only use one clone spell, you still have an entire Lava Loon army, and you've got a decent number of spells to deal with the rest of the base. In fact, he's going to completely swag his Warden ability on this one. It's just not needed. He has so many loons left. All right, now this attack strategy, obviously, and the last one, requires some lava loon skills as well, but you're going to be able to take out a lot bigger variety of bases using these 3 different attack strategies than you will with just E-Dragons alone. Take a look at the spacing on this base. It's a much more spaced out base. We've got these Inferno compartments right here where nothing is going to chain into them, and just in general we see a lot more areas with double space. It's a lot wider base, so mass E-Dragons would have been a horrible choice for this base, but cloning that E-Dragon in there and dusting it off with an Electron was an excellent way to go about it. In the beginning of this video, we went over chaining an E-Dragon, how it gets those chain value. If those buildings are touching, then it tends to choose those buildings. So from here, I mean, theoretically, it could chain from here to here, but since it's actually touching this building, it's going to go here, 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 and here. When a specific building is touching, it really tends to determine the direction that chain is going to go, and it's also going to go in a direction usually where it has the opportunity to chain more times if the choice is presented. But guys, a lot of times you're using an E-Dragon, it's not even with an E-Dragon based attack. Sometimes you're just using it to set a funnel. It's 35 camp space, but as long as you're not facing a sweeper or have an air defense targeting it right away, then it's a really nice, easy way to set the funnel. Why did I say it's 35 camp space? Well, I kind of missed it at the beginning, but before you use an E-Dragon for funneling, generally you're going to put 1 loon out in front of it, and that is in case there's a seeking air mine right there waiting to wreck your E-Dragon. It won't kill it all the way, but it'll get it pretty close to where you will not get very good funneling value out of it. And then once you can set that side of a funnel, reliably with an E-Dragon, it really opens you up to, whatever you want to do. It just gives you another good option to set a reliable funnel. All right, a lot of camp space, but let's face it, setting the perfect funnel is priceless. All right, absolutely priceless. And because of that, this base is getting annihilated. Oh my gosh, he's got all of his loons left coming into this backside here. Let's go ahead and times 4 it because, not really an E-Dragon attack, but using an E-Dragon to funnel is going to be your 4th option to wreck bases using E-Dragon. So guys, thank you for coming to hang out with me today. Fun to cover E-Dragons. Haven't really covered them very much, but I'm very, very intrigued by them. There's a few guys out there that can just wreck a ton of bases with that mass E-Dragons. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to cook it up. Maybe I need to practice with it a little bit. We'll see. But I definitely enjoy a lot of the other attack strategies. YOLO-tron, Electron. I don't use them for funneling very often, but the Trons, I really do enjoy those. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, I gotta tell you, I appreciate every single one of my viewers, but you who hang in until the very end of the video, you are my favorite. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, click right above my head and subscribe right there. And guys, check out the 2 awesome videos right on either side of me. Click on one of those and we can keep hanging out. I'll see you next time.